Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Dacob here. Today is Red Day, Red Topic Day. I've been feeling so red lately. My hair has been not in a red way, but it's kind of a warmer tone. I'm going more into these kind of yellowy streaks. I'm loving it a lot, the warmth. I guess I'm just lacking that sun, that winter, oh so deceptively steals from us. And I have been feeling the red, and I've been wearing a lot of red. And a part of that desire for red is my rediscovered love of Hypnotic Poison. Look how big this is. This is the biggest bottle that they produce. It's 150 milliliter eau de toilette, sorry guys. Eau de toilette 150 ml spray. It comes in this ginormous package box or whatever. It does exist as 30 ml, 50 ml, 100 ml, and 150 ml eau de toilette. And then it also exists as 50 milliliter or 100 milliliter eau de parfum, which smells very different from the eau de toilette. Now, the original Hypnotic Poison was created in 1998. Was it 1998? Yeah. 1998 by Annick Menardo. Now, Annick Menardo is a very, very sassy lady creating the best, what we define as Orientals in the world. Now, I'm a bit sick and tired of the world, of perfumery world, calling Orientals all those perfumes that have some sort of warmth in them, or vanilla, or some sort of ingredient that could be either an oud, like Oud Ispahan from Dior, or yeah, okay, opium, I guess the name of it is already, programmed. You call it opium, it comes from the Orient. Hypnotic Poison, to me, is not an Oriental. Even though, on the box, and by the way, this is the newest reincarnation of it, and the newest formulation. Now, I don't know when the last one was, but this is the newest one as of today, 2016. It says on the box in the back, I don't know if you can see this, in French and then in English, an explosive sensuous vanilla set on an almond jasmine accord. A heady and incredibly sensual Oriental. To me, it ain't Oriental, and we'll get to it. Why is it not Oriental? Let's get to it right away because I might forget later to get to it. It transcends borders and continents to me. Maybe because the first time I tried it, I was very, very young, so I wasn't built yet as a persona of my own. So this perfume kind of molded me in a way. I don't know. But for those of you who have been following me on Instagram, you might have noticed I've been posting a lot of red things lately. I'm just so obsessed with red. And you know that I usually in my reviews mention that I hate vanilla in perfumes and I try to avoid vanilla in perfumes. And my hate for vanilla actually stems from Hypnotic Poison. There's a story behind that. I used to love vanilla, but then I started hating it after the first reformulation of Hypnotic Poison. I was just so disappointed by how the vanilla has been kind of dried down in the perfume and has been turned into something more artificial, has been cheapened, and I was just so soaked in it, I was so obsessed by this type of vanilla that I never found it again anywhere else. So I hated every other vanilla, always. But now I have to say, and bear with me, this is going to be a complicated just stretch of an analysis. Before you see, we're still not getting to the actual smell itself. We will. Hypnotic Poison passed not only through reformulations of the fragrance, but it also passed through reformulations, if you will, of the bottle. Now, the original Hypnotic Poison, contrary to popular belief, many people say that the bottle was cheap, plastic. No, it was freaking amazing. The reason they don't do it anymore is because they don't want to spend that money. That was a glass bottle. It was then covered with kind of a layer of rubbery, of something rubbery and warm, because the idea behind that aesthetical choice was that and in fact, I don't understand why Dior would not do this anymore. It was their concept to begin with. Dior, again, you piss me off. They wanted, the creators, with Annick Minardo and whoever with her, they wanted that when you grab this perfume, that it's warm from the beginning. The bottle is not supposed to be cold to the touch. Hence that light coat of that rubbery material, so whenever you hold the bottle, it's always warm. That's the idea. That hypnotic poison almost kind of like warms the bottle from within and emanates that warmth on the outside. You ain't gonna hear that in many reviews out there. Go check them out if you don't believe me. Moving on, the shade of it all. So Dior takes off that plasticky, coating, which costs more, obviously. You could just leave the glass bottle as is. And in fact, they removed the plastic coating and also started modifying the bottles. All of the poison flankers and the poison itself changed around 2000 something, and they took away the Christian Dior at the bottom. This is how the wording would be. It's really hard to see here probably. Yeah, you won't be able to. This is going to be tough. But anyway, you have Poison. This is the first release of Poison. Esprit de Parfum Christian Dior, or Christian Dior, and then it says Paris underneath. So they took the Christian Dior off. All we have left is just Dior, and the shape of the bottle changed. I do not have the kind of in between bottle shapes, but what I am really happy to see is that as of today, 2016, the Poison bottles are returning to their original shape, which is this one here. So the 150 ml and the 30 ml, now the 150 ml is kind of expanding. Of course, it's bigger, but the proportions are the same. So that is very, very good to see. There was a time, basically for at least a decade, where the bottom of these bottles was more open there. So they were kind of more thick at the bottom, more robust, they look more chunky, like they could just stand steadily on the floor. This one is more light because when you keep it, it kind of, it opens up on the sides, much more sensuous. I'm really happy that they returned to the original bottles. Not only are they returning to the original bottles within the perfume range, or the eau de toilette in this case, but they're also returning, as far as Hypnotic Poison is concerned, to the original 80s concept bottles for the shower gels and the body lotions, which is amazing, extremely elegant. And I hated the other ones that were in use for over 10 years. They look like a teardrop. Disgusting. Really cheap. Now Dior is going back to the original design of the bottles, which was used in the 80s. That looks like an elongated eau de toilette poison. Pure poison, not pure poison. The first Poison eau de toilette bottle, but just in, bigger, 200 ml liquid for the shower gel and the body lotion. Except it's red because it's for Hypnotic Poison. And only Hypnotic Poison gets this special treatment. Why, you ask yourself? Because it's the bestseller of the entire Poison range. The Poison, as of today, only has an eau de toilette bottle, except, they have modified everything because Esprit de Parfum was in the round bottle. And again, focus, thank you. The eau de toilette was in the kind of flat, longer bottles, but they turned that around, and after Hypnotic Poison came out in 1998, the eau de toilette was also inserted into a round bottle. Annick Minardo also did create the concentration eau de parfum for Hypnotic Poison in the late 90s, early 2000s for its Red Devil edition, or Diable Rouge edition, which was a splash perfume, and extremely intense, sensuous, amazing. After that, it was discontinued. The eau de parfum, we got only the eau de toilette, then we had the elixir at a certain point, and right now, Demachy has created a new formula for the eau de parfum, which is so different from the eau de toilette. The eau de toilette remains my favorite. I love the eau de parfum as well. I will be testing it more in the days to come, but as of now, definitely my love is with Hypnotic Poison. I have rediscovered it for myself since I received, when I bought my Poison Girl flanker, and you can check out my review of this perfume if you haven't already in the card section up above. I received, a sample of the new Hypnotic Poison, and I tested it out and tested it as long as the 1 milliliter would permit me to test it, and felt that there's something in here that is returning back to the roots. I'm not sure if we will ever get the original Hypnotic Poison Eau de Toilette from the 90s. But honestly, to be perfectly honest with you guys, this formulation of Eau de Toilette hits the nail for me. I have been wearing it now for days. Yes, I have to dose it more than I would have the original. But the way that, except for the head note, the way that the perfume kind of goes down to me and dries down is the same like it used to be in the late 90s. Now, this is probably due also to my chemistry. Probably some of you out there will not have that right chemistry, will not have that correct balance with the new formulation, so you might feel that it's really bad on your skin as a juxtaposed to the original. To me, it works. On my skin, it works. And now we're going to spray it and see what happens. And I'm going to do it 4 times because I would have done twice the 90s formula, but this one I do double, so I do 4 times. Okay, so right out of the bottle, it's you know, there's alcohol in there. It's pretty chemical, but give it that second. A lot of people mention the licorice in here. I don't feel the licorice. Now, there is something that is licorice-y in the eau de parfum, but again, to me, it's not licorice, because licorice to me, you know, and I love licorice. I love licorice tea. I love the root. When I travel in some countries, I actually suck on the actual root. I love that taste. So to me, licorice is very, I love licorice candy. Licorice in Hypnotic Poison Eau de Parfum smells not like licorice to me. It smells like cherry paste that you would use for cakes or cookies. Or candy, like cherry candy, like a flavoring for food. Here we get that cherry, let's say maybe that nanosecond before the head just kind of, you know, the head note just like washes off. Right now I'm feeling it a little bit. There's that like bitey cheapness of the cherry there. That is not a cherry, but to my nose it smells like a cherry. That's something that was not there in the Hypnotic Poison from 1998. So you gotta kind of stick with it, you know, let it wash off or wash away with time. Everything else underneath that layer is majestic. On my skin, I'm extremely lucky because all the other reformulations of all the other poisons just does not work on me. This one does, and it is hypnotic. It literally hypnotizes me. It just pushes me to want more. And let's give it some more time, because I still have that head note that has to wash off, or that has to kind of evaporate from my skin, or be absorbed by the skin and disappear for good. You know, the warmth of this perfume, and again, should be represented by the warmth of the bottle, but we don't have that, unfortunately, because the rubbery aspect is gone. That warmth is present. Even though we're still at the head note, it's extremely present. And that warmth is what hypnotizes you, what makes you addicted to it, what makes you want more of it over and over and over again. Like literally the other day I was at work and I was thinking to myself, and I couldn't take this ginormous bottle with me. It's just too heavy, and you can see from the top, it's very, very, very big and kind of hard to, you know, to put in a bag or something. And I was craving it after the 6th hour. I was craving, I could still feel it on me, but I wanted the full intensity. I was ready for a next fix. I needed a fix of Hypnotic Poison. That's how intense it is and insane it is. And it lasts on my skin at least 10 hours, except of course the dry down one point, you literally gotta kind of put your nose into your flesh to kind of, you know, smell it, or like warm it up, the skin, and then suck it up, whatever is left of it. It literally forces me to go that far to be a junkie of perfume. That's how intense it is. And that's how much I love it, because really the Dior, I mean, you do a lot of wrong things, but the reformulation of this one, even if you wanted to save money perhaps and you wanted to go cheap on certain things, certain other elements are still in here that are extremely valid. And I think Nicki Minaj you know, could consider herself proud that they kind of kept it in a way. Now, Anik, if you're ever gonna watch this video, please talk to the people at Dior and try to do, I don't know, even illegally without the IFRA, you know, getting into it, like a limited edition of the original formulation of maybe the Rouge Devil version of your eau de parfum. I mean, you know, I think we would all just be in heaven if that would happen. I would stock up on that sucker like there's no tomorrow. So let's get to the notes. Top notes is coconut, plum, apricot. Middle notes, Brazilian rosewood, rose, lily of the valley, caraway, jasmine, tuberose. Base notes, musk, vanilla, almond, and sandalwood. Now, granted, this is one of those perfumes that was extremely experimental for its time. It is kind of the opposite of Poison, this one, because this one is about mystery in a dry way. There's the plum in here too that's magical, and the Hypnotic. Here we do have the plum as well, but it's the coconut at the top with the vanilla that play the game of the creaminess, of the milkiness, of something sensual and just warm all around you that makes you feel like you're in a room that has cotton balls all over it, but the cotton balls are oily in a way, in a beautiful essential oil way, and that oil transcends that vanilla and that almond. So it's a bittersweet scent covering you all over, covering your senses, and that feeling of those cotton ball walls is in your mind, in your head at a certain point. So within your own body, you're starting to feel that softness and that kind of milky, almost oily. I wouldn't say oil because I never sensed the oil really. I'm just saying oil. Well, let me just finish. Milky, oily coat all over you that makes you feel extremely protected, comfortable, and attractive. Not sexually attractive, but more attractive from a very self-secure point of view, which could be also sexual in a way, but this is not sex to me. This to me is more comforting and reassuring as a scent, actually. So, no, I forgot what I was saying. Great. Well, whatever. I'll get to it maybe, because there's so much I need to say about this perfume that, like, I'm definitely probably gonna skip some pieces, unfortunately, because there's just so much to say and so little time. Because time is money, isn't it? So, and you don't want to watch a badass perfume review the last 3 hours. But anyway, what was I saying? Darn. Well, let's get back to the vanilla. Now, the vanilla is present from top to bottom. The coconut kind of disappears at a certain point, but the coconut is very important because the coconut gives it that warmth. But the almonds here are the trick. The almonds create that sort of coating like the original bottle had of that rubber, you know, the warm rubber covering the glass. So you can consider your vanilla to be that glass that kind of, it can be pungent, like glass can be cold to the touch. You know, that vanilla can kind of attack you, can't be too sweet, can't be cloying. Depends what sort of vanilla a perfume house uses. It could be really annoying and bad. But that almond gives that coating over that glass, vanilla, and it tames it. And it tames it in a way that every time you inhale it, oh, now, okay, the head note is gone. We're at the heart. Oh my God. You just want to go like, and you're high, basically. That almond protects that vanilla and protects you and makes it never, ever, ever identifiable. You can never really identify in which balance the ingredients are layered in this perfume. So that every time you inhale, that's why you want to inhale some more, because every time you inhale, that almond just like tricks you in because it covers up all the other ingredients, covets them, creates that kind of cocoon of softness and slight rubbery warm feel around it that you can never really penetrate. You can't cut through that rubber, open it up to get to the ingredients. It never lets you do it. It keeps hinting at it all the time of what's inside that rubber coating, but it never lets you in. And that's the hypnotic aspect of this drug, of this potent poison, because it poisons you. And as I was saying to a dear friend of mine, Lanier Smith, by the way, check out his reviews on YouTube, the best perfume reviewer in the world. Big fan of Elizabeth Taylor. We were talking about hypnotic poison the other day, and I mentioned to him, sorry guys, coughing. I'm still actually getting rid of a cold I had some time ago. I said to him, this is like Cleopatra, like Elizabeth Taylor, the scene in Cleopatra where she kind of dives her hand into, I think it was the figs or some other fruits. I haven't seen Cleopatra in a lot of years now, in many years now. And the snake, you know, she's ready to get bitten by the snake. That's how it is to kind of experience hypnotic poison over and over and over again. It's like putting your hand willingly into that basket of that fruit, of the forbidden fruit, and the snake is in there, and you know it's in there, and you want that snake to bite you. And when that snake bites you, that's actually when hypnotic poison bites you, because that's the snake. Hypnotic poison is the snake in this case. It poisons you, and you want it to poison you. The venom of that snake is the venom in this bottle. Basically, you feel it coming into your blood, covering up your heart, and just, you know, a lot of venoms, a lot of snake venoms, the powerful, potent ones that are very dangerous, literally send your whole immune system into meltdown, and actually your blood, more than your immune system. A lot of these venoms work in the way that they literally melt down your blood cells. So your red blood cells just like pop and melt, liquefy, literally. Now, not in such a gross way, but envision it in a very sensual way. Hypnotic poison does that. It melts down your blood. It makes your whole system go into a slight tilt. Whenever I smell hypnotic poison, I have the feeling I'm standing like next to myself a little bit. Like a little part of me is kind of like ticked to the side and is very, very, very pleasantly humbled and satisfied. But it needs that kick. It needs that fix over and over again. Well done, Dior. The formulation works. Now, as the camera stopped, now it started again filming, just one thing I noticed, this bottle has a coating as well. And of course, you know, a lot of people mention, oh, it's like dark at the bottom, then it gets lighter at the top, and they say it's like a lava red. Well, this is kind of, it's not black, it's like a purpley color, and then it turns red, and the stopper is purple. The stopper should have been made in another color. It should have been black, as the original version was, not this purpley. Just because, I don't know, they should have done the black one that they use for Poison Girl. But I've noticed that by playing with the bottle and, you know, moving it around and stuff, I chipped it a little. And guess what happens when you chip it? You'll never be able to see this because it's microscopic. Where is it? But here, a little bit of the paint fell off at the bottom here, and you could see right through the bottle into the liquid. It's impossible to see. It's literally microscopic, but it doesn't matter. But this is really good to know because they actually went that extra mile to get this bottle into this kind of shade of these red hues and purpley dark hues. So it is coated, so they might as well just have stuck with the rubbery coating to keep that idea of the perfume emanating the warmth from inside the bottle. At least that's my personal opinion, because that's a beautiful concept that back in the day, 1998, nobody else did. Nowadays, I mean, yeah, you have Amen from Thierry Mugler in the caoutchouc bottle, but that's a different concept. This is more of a kind of a trick of a vision. You see a bottle and then you take it and it's warm from the second you take it. It's also smoky on my skin, which I love. And in fact, now we're getting to the point why I consider this formulation, from as far as this aspect goes, better than the first edition, because the first edition did not have that smoke in there. This one does. And I love that smoke. There's something in there that it's like smoky hay, you know? It's not smoked ham or meat or anything like that. It's like hay and smoke, and then we have the almonds and we have the coconut and we have the vanilla in there. But it elevates the perfume just that like ½ centimeter above my skin because it's smoky and the smoke elevates the scent. So when you inhale it, it's kind of dry, but at the same time, very, very lotiony, or not liquid or lotion. If you check out one of the first commercials done for Hypnotic Poison in the 90s, you will see this woman, she's literally obsessed by it, and she's addicted to it, and she has a bottle, she finds a bottle in an elevator, and now the world that she's in is like Blade Runner from Ridley Scott, the movie. It's all black, it's a hyper-futuristic world, and she's in an elevator, and everything is black outside of this elevator, but the elevator is red. It's the Hypnotic Poison red. And the walls of the elevator are made in the wavy material that the first box of Hypnotic Poison was made of. Well, the print of the box was made of, at least. And she finds this bottle, I think on the floor or something, and it's not a spray bottle, it's a splash bottle. The first Hypnotic Poison was a splash. And it's open, and she looks at it like as if she were an animal, because she discovers this new beast. And, you know, she kind of like tilts it a little bit, and the liquid pours out, but the liquid is like oil. That's how thick it is. You know, she like tilts it, and this like oil drips out, and it's amazing. And that drip of oil kind of spreads out at the bottom of the elevator, and then as she's walking out, there's a reflection of her body in that oil. And she's hooked, and she needs more of it. And as she leaves the elevator, the door of the elevator closes, and as it shuts behind her, there's a circle, and it says, you know, Hypnotic Poison, Christian Dior, Paris. And everything else in the world is black except that elevator. And she has literally, you could interpret it as you wish. I mean, it's a very strange commercial, but as, you know, her being in that box, that container, because the box had that kind of twirly, wavy red pattern on it, as does the elevator, so as does the perfume box. And then kind of, you know, when you enter the box and you smell it, you kind of transform, and kind of that elevator brings you down to earth in a weird way, and you exit the elevator, and you are that poison. You are that Hypnotic Poison. You're going out to the world to kind of hypnotize others or poison others. Incredible. I mean, Hypnotic Poison is definitely, I'm so happy that it has reawakened my love for it, because it's something that I thought would have been gone forever. But I have rediscovered it, and I'm extremely happy that on my skin this formulation works. So before Dior, you know, comes up with a new formulation, before other regulations come out to change perfumes yet again, I will definitely stock up on this one, because it works on me, on my skin. It's so strange. There's like no figuring it out. It's not even about, you know, I spoke about the head note being a bit omnipresent and not so good, and then when that's gone, the rest is heaven. But just because I want that chemical aspect of it to evaporate, nevertheless, the entire fragrance, many other reviewers also said that it doesn't really go through this kind of, you know, heart-based structure. I mean, Annick Minato spoke about the perfume being like structured in 4 steps, not 3 steps. But I never really got that whole concept of the 4 steps, to be honest with you. To me, it's pretty much one trajectory, and it just keeps projecting and sillaging itself until it fades out, and then you need a new fix of Hypnotic Poison. So it stays quite balanced on the skin, but what is fascinating about it, it keeps emanating warmth. And that warmth is so soothing, you know? And it could be painful because it is a strong perfume, and it is something that not everybody likes. So in a way, it can be also considered as painful, but for those of us who love it, it's so soothing. It's so soothing. And considering the prices that certain perfumes have nowadays, especially with all of the Privé lines, and, you know, perfumes hitting price ranges of $300 for 100 milliliter, eau de parfum granted, not eau de toilette, I think Hypnotic Poison is still a steal, considering all that kind of upper range Privé collections that all perfumery seems to be heading towards. It's like in their original lines for the masses, they don't dare anymore invent a new perfume, but they just keep on bringing out flankers. While on the other side, they keep bringing out new perfumes within their Privé lines. Why is that? Because with the new, you know, with the new perfumes that they bring out in the Privé lines, they don't need to promote those. There's no commercial involved. There's no marketing involved. There's no billions involved. So they can save a lot of money because it's kind of considered a niche perfume market, and at the moment, strategically speaking, it's very cool for a company to not announce it, just to bring it out, to make it secret so people have to fight for it, because it makes people feel like they're special to have discovered it. It's a lame trick, but it's been working since at least 10 years now. So that's why, if you're asking yourselves why usually flankers come out in the main lines, that's the reason, because the flankers live off of the millions that have already been invested in the past on their original formulations, and then the flanker kind of builds up on what was the success of the original. Nevertheless, Hypnotic Poison is incredible, and Hypnotic is incredible, and Hypnotic is also the nose behind Bois d'Azil. Not Bois d'Azil, I'm so sorry guys. Not Bois d'Azil, forget what I just said. Nose behind Bois d'Argent, also by Dior. My favorite Privé line, perfume, Dior Privé perfume. Now reformulated in Eau de Parfum, but I also do have the original Eau de Cologne, when Hedi Slimane was still creative director of Dior and designed the bottles. Incredible, and actually Eau de Cologne lasts longer on the skin than the Eau de Parfum does. So this whole Eau de Parfum, Eau de Toilette trickery doesn't really work for me. You know, sometimes the Eau de Toilette will be stronger on your skin with your chemistry than the actual Eau de Parfum of that particular fragrance. Love you all guys. I hope you like this extremely long review. Let me know what you think about Hypnotic Poison in the comment section down below. If you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. Either way, share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you wish to see more, and never forget, especially in this passionate moment of red tones, don't ever give up on love. Love you, see you soon, bye. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos. I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So come on over guys and join the fun.